Hello, I'm W.D. Boyce from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm often asked how the Boy Scouts of America started. Oh, wouldn't it be delightful to respond with a heroic tale of scaling the Himalayas or rafting the upper courses of the Amazon? But no, quite the opposite. No man likes to admit it, but I was lost. And not in the rugged, uncharted wilderness, but in the streets of London.
Lost your way, sir?
Well, it seems I have.
Well, can I be of service?
The boy offered to guide me to my destination. Grateful for his assistance, I offered him in return a few coins. Here you are.
No, thank you, sir.
Oh, please, it's a small token of my gratitude.
I'm sorry, sir, but I can't accept it. It's my duty to do a good turn daily.
Your duty?
Yes, as a Boy Scout.
His simple words penetrated me, and I immediately inquired about these so-called Boy Scouts. Who were they, and where are they headquartered?
Well, just this way, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Owen, sir, I think you'll be needing this.
Thank you.
God bless you.
That morning, in London, in mists of darkness, a boy of honor stepped forward to light my way. The spark of his simple act grew within me, and I was reminded that heroism is just as much needed on a city street as it is in the uncharted wilderness. To him, it didn't matter that we were from opposite sides of the ocean, or what our differences may be. He saw me as a brother in need, and he saw helping me as doing his duty to God. At the Scout headquarters, I found a copy of Scouting for Boys. Printed within the cover was a promise.
On my honor, I promise that I will do my duty to God and the King. I will do my best to help others.
There was a light in these young men, a light that made them willing to do the right thing at the right moment, no matter the consequences. They were becoming men of honor. I learned that the dawn of this much-needed work had started in Great Britain with a man known as Lord Baden-Powell.
I didn't start scouting. The blooming thing started itself. The truth is, scouting has been around for centuries, practiced by honorable men throughout the ages. I simply took note of something they already knew. From the Knights of King Arthur,
to distant armies and the call of mighty kings, in the heart of every righteous man it rings.
to the great reformers,
Worship God in heaven and return a people pure. True light, power, and purpose must endure.
from fearless explorers,
To climb the highest mountains, to traverse the deserts sought, to bring to light the glories of God.
to the pilgrims who left their country in search of freedom,
And leave behind all comfort for a cause that's right. And in darkness you discover heaven's light.
and the patriot who in founding a country pledged to each other their sacred honor. The honor of these great men was steeped in the values they held dear. It made them who they were. I realized that those values could easily be lost or forgotten. And just as it was in their time, the world today needed men of strong moral character and integrity. Men who do their duty to God.
On my honor, I will serve my fellow man. On my honor, uphold the laws of this great land. On my honor, I'll walk the path that all great men have trod, and with honor fulfill my sacred duty to God.
The honor of these men, these great men, was sacred. They had an understanding of honor. They were courteous and polite. They protected the weak. They helped others to live better. They taught themselves to be strong so as to be able to protect their country against enemies. And they kept themselves strong and healthy so they might be prepared to do all these things at a moment's notice and do them well.
They understood that the word scout means the one on the watch for the rest, the one who protects others by leading out in walking the paths that lead to happiness. In seeking a way to foster this pattern of honor among the young men of England, I organized an experimental scouting encampment at Brownsea Island, consisting of 20 boys. And with that, the scouting movement began.
Though a boy of humble birthright, if I walk the paths of truth, then I take a hero's journey in my youth.
Knowing that the boys of today will become the men of tomorrow, I determined to continue Baden-Powell's work and started the Boy Scouts in America.
For honor, sacred honor.
The boys of America were hungry for it. Thousands were signing up all over the country. Boys like these.
Americans have never shied away from a challenge or from a chance to stand up for what's right. So it didn't take long for scouting to take root. Many organizations became partners and sponsored scouting units for their youth.
The first, in 1913, was the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Which was no surprise to people who knew the president of the church, Joseph F. Smith.
For years, he had been working to create bridges between people and across different religions, reaching out in brotherhood and peace.
Like when he spoke at the Cornerstone ceremony for a new Jewish synagogue.
And directed a donation be made to help with its construction. Or like on the day of his funeral, when the Catholic community honored him by sounding their cathedral bells as the procession passed by.
This friendship included Protestant churches and many others, and created a foundation for working together. President Smith taught,
"We are engaged in an unending battle against sin and worldliness. This means that it is often our position must be unpopular. It is not an easy road to travel, yet we are not alone. Be united with your fellow man, whether they are a member of our church or not. The man who has that spirit in his heart and keeps it there will always be at peace with himself, with his neighbor, and at peace with God."
Every mountain is a moment, every song is peak a test. Each step I take requires my very